And Kyle said, well, you really shouldn't be saying this to Mo. Like, you shouldn't let him hear this because it's annoying. Like, this just boosts his ego more. And then Kyle said, Kathy used to say to me, is it all right if I say it? And Kathy's like, yeah, used to say to me, quit talking about how hot your husband is on TV. Kathy said, stop trying to make it happen. Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 15 Reunion Part 2. But before we get into this, I'm going to do my call to action. Please head over to YouTube and hit subscribe if you don't already. And like us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and any place you hear our podcast. Apple Podcasts, give us 5-star reviews, all the fun stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I personally thought this Part 2 was doo-doo. Like, I think we didn't even need it. Like, part 1 I thought was good.
Such a different reaction.
You did?
I did. Now, let me preface this with saying that my son left on a trip. He went with his friends and their mom. There's parental supervision, but I was very emotional. I just don't like it when my kids go away. I miss them. That's all it was. I'm like, wait until I say this on the podcast. I felt so bad for Kyle.
You did?
I always feel bad for Kyle. And
Maybe
I feel like I'm the only one.
Because I'm on a vodka kick this week. But honestly, and listen, I still think she said things about Dorit that she shouldn't have said. I still think she's angry and taking it out on Dorit. But when they were talking about the Mo, and you can just tell she is so sad still that they are not together. And this is what I want to say. I want Kyle back, and because I'm going to wait it out, because it's going to happen. It's going to take a little while. But Morgan was clearly a rebound. But Kyle is going to have her single hot girl moment. I don't know if it's going to be in the summertime or not, so I don't want to say hot girl summer. And I want to see it. I want to see Kyle going on dates with people. And I think once she's at the point where she's okay with this divorce or separation, she's going to show us it. And I'm here for it. I felt very bad for her. I felt like I've been there. Obviously, it wasn't a marriage. It wasn't as long as her marriage. But she's going to come out of this, but she's still in it. She is very much still in it. She does not want this separation. She wants her husband back. She wants her family unit back. That's what she wants.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. 100% I agree with that. But I have felt like that with Kyle the whole season. And
maybe
I felt
for me, I had to see it to feel more empathy for her, to see the other side of her and Dorit. So maybe that's why I liked this episode, maybe.
What was your impression of it, Laura? Your overall impression of this episode? You get an audible sigh.
I know.
What are you, Amanda?
Sorry. I just don't feel good. I'm trying not to throw up.
That was Amanda, not you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely do feel bad for Kyle, but they're all so dysfunctional. It's just a shit show from beginning to end with all of them. Yeah.
We're just not as rich as them.
I guess. I don't know, but the writing's been on the wall for a long time. So, we'll eventually get to it in the reunion where, I think Bose is just 100% right. Don't wait to leave.
Yeah.
Till somebody's... That's like a kooky ass shit. Just...
Spot on.
Yeah. Listen, so you get divorced. If you were meant to be back together, you can get remarried. It's not, you know what I'm saying?
People in Hollywood do it all the time.
Yeah, so it's just, she needs to just cut the cord and move on and I think to me, that's very sad that she would stay and is expecting some kind of outcome that's not going to happen. And I don't know.
I also felt like Dorit would not shut up for 2 seconds to let Kyle
No,
talk, and I do not normally feel that way. And of course, it's, people on social media say it all the time, and I'm like, "I don't really see it that way." Well, this episode, I 100 and I don't know if it was editing, I tend to think not.
Yeah, no, I don't
She
think so.
would just not it's like, "Shut up." So remember last week I said people were saying that Andy is over Dorit and so fed up with her, and I was like, "I didn't get that at all." I don't know if they had seen this episode this episode you could tell he was like, "Oh my god, enough. Like, stop talking. Let someone
Yeah.
else talk."
Yeah.
She is annoying, and she's like, honestly, with every single question she was asked, whether it was about Kyle or it was about Sutton or it was about Amanda, she didn't answer the questions, and she just kept going and going like a little chihuahua. She was the
Yeah.
most annoying, and I've been saying this all season. I just don't like the way she behaves. I don't like
I
the
don't
way
know
she
if she's coming
behaves.
back. I don't know if they're gonna bring Dorit back. Kyle's definitely coming back. Has anybody listened to the interview with PK?
I saw parts of it. I do want to watch that.
I didn't listen to it.
I haven't, but I will. Listen, not that I'm defending him or would ever defend him in any way. I think he is probably a horrible, horrible person, especially now to face in divorce court. But I would like to just hear what he has to say. But I think it's all nonsense and BS, whatever he has to say.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we start out where we left off with Bose and Amanda, and Bose was talking about her business, that it was not failing, and it was a different thing than Amanda's.
But she
Um,
did say it loses
she
money.
she said yes, but she wasn't referring to. She was saying it wasn't the same thing. It was more of a philanthropic endeavor. She was doing it to help people. She wasn't doing it to make money. That wasn't the
Right.
model of that. Right?
Right.
That's what she
Yeah.
was saying.
It's not her.
I mean,
It's not
she's
her main focus. It's not her
right.
end all to be all her in
Right.
her business.
Whereas with
Right.
Amanda, that is how she makes her money.
Right. It was like
Absolutely.
she was probably charging a nominal fee to have these seminars where she could give people information for them to be successful based on what she learned in doing it when she didn't have these resources available to her. So she was doing it to help others. So then it comes up about Amanda's book, and Andy asked her, if she finished her book on her cult, and she said, well, she just finished writing chapter 6 last week. And then it comes up about her editor said something, and they're all jumped on her. I thought you were self-publishing. She's like, well, even if you self-publish, you still have to hire an editor, which I think is probably correct. Like,
It
I mean,
has to
just
be.
because you're
It has to be
Yeah.
true.
right.
I
So-
mean, it's punctuation, it's grammar, it's
everything,
how
right.
it flows, it's everything.
This is what I don't understand about Amanda, because I think that she is a smart woman. I don't understand why she cannot articulate what her business does. If she just said, the aim of my courses is to help women do A, B, and C by implementing A, B, and C, blah, 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 so that they can be financially independent. It's more easily explained to Google her than she explains herself. So if you
I
Google
thought she
her,
did in this episode. I thought she
No.
did say
no.
it.
So let me just explain to you what Amanda does via Google's AI, and then you can tell me why she has had a whole season and she can't articulate this. So she focuses on the energetics of wealth, blending spiritual manifestation techniques with foundations for basic business strategies to foster psychological mindset shifts and practice entrepreneurial skills, therefore removing mental barriers to success. Some things that are worked on are money mentality, reframing, like people have limited beliefs from their past that dictate their current financial behaviors. Like if you grew up really poor and you watched people do certain behaviors with money, you can have a tendency to have limiting views on money and what money you can make, right? Self-worth and what you can charge a client for your services, creating an energy to keep you from getting burnout in in the hustle kind of culture, making business and life decisions that are not based on fear, identifying profitable niches, digital course creation, how to automate sales, building a brand, email marketing, basic business structures, setup, scheduling, communication, problem solving. These are all things that she has tons and tons of courses on. Now, you didn't have to say it as wordy as I did, but I'm sure that she could have come up with all season 4 sentences
I
that
feel
gave
like she
worth to
did.
what she did. I have
I
never
feel like
heard her
she had
say
a canned
anything,
response. I feel like she had a canned response of what
but it
she
was
does.
too
I
canned.
do manifest. I like every time she would say the exact same thing, and it was just
That's
like
what I'm
she
saying.
would say the
It's
exact same thing, and people would hear wah wah wah
Wah,
wah
wah,
like
wah,
the
wah. Right, but
because
she
she
it's
just
does
kept
almost like she expected them to just
to
know.
know. Right.
Like,
right.
listen, I am who I am, Amanda Francis, and this is what I do. And if you didn't know, then you should look it up and figure it out. Like, she didn't feel like she had to explain anything to anyone. And maybe that's what Bose's frustration was with her.
Yeah, because she does do things that do have some value. It's not just all,
Right.
"Oh, let me sit down and think about money and it'll come to me."
Right.
She does do what a lot of other people do, and they can be very valuable things. A lot of people could use that kind of information. So I just don't understand why she, like you said, had all these little stupid canned responses and has never really articulated fully what it is that she does. It's just bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And
So
I thought
then
Erika
Andy
was nasty though too.
to
When
who?
Well, when to Amanda, when she was talking about having an editor, Erika was like, "Oh, an editor? I thought you did self-editing." She was just
That
like,
must have been
I
on
was like, "Wha."
Peacock because
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't see that.
she was like a little nasty when she answered her back. I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa."
I did watch Peacock this time on purpose because I missed stuff last time, so I did watch Peacock this time.
I
It
didn't.
could
I
have
watched
been.
it. So I missed that whole part. Listen, Erica can be very biting when she
Yeah,
wants
she
to.
was like,
And
Definitely.
listen, she's not going to think twice about doing it to Amanda because Amanda's
no.
low man on the totem pole.
Mhm. So Andy asked Sutton if wasn't it hypocritical because a few years ago she did this deep dive into Erica's life. And Sutton's like, "Well, actually I read the LA Times." And then Dorit jumps in and says, "But Sutton, you were at my house and you were discussing it and you said you were going to take Amanda's course." And Sutton said, "Yeah, I did. I was going to sign up." And she's like, "I was going to have the expectation that I could make $500,000 a month." And she's like, "I wanted to see how it worked," which she said that. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea. Sutton certainly has the money
Think
to
it's a
take
bad
her
idea
course.
either. She's going to pay for it, right?
Right,
Right.
And
right.
then
And
this way she can see for herself
What it
right.
was.
exactly what it is and not just sit back and judge her for what you think it is.
Right, but I didn't think it was very nice. I thought it was kind of insulting for Sutton to say. I just thought it would be funny to take one of her courses. Well, I
I
think
agree with
Amanda's
that.
laughing all the way to the bank. And like maybe it would be funny for Amanda to go to Sutton's store and buy something.
Right.
It's the same thing. Like, why?
Yeah,
I just don't think that was really nice.
I agree.
I don't
And
think
then
that was
Dorit,
nice either. Yeah. And because then it came out, Dorit said that you said that she took out a $2 million loan just before filming. And then Erika jumped in and said, "Well, I would like to take out a $2 million loan." And then they're
I was
going
like, I
back
wish
and
I
forth.
could.
Right. And then they're going back and forth. And Amanda's like, "Wait, excuse me, this is my package." And then Kyle called that out. I was like, OMG, like that's a first. That's seriously a first. Like
Well, we
for a
just heard
housewife to say.
what reunion was it where somebody was like, "What's a
Giselle
package?"
didn't have one. Giselle didn't have a
Giselle
package.
didn't have one. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And she's
Because
an
Giselle
OG.
doesn't bring anything to the show.
Right, right. But Amanda wanted the focus right back on her. Now, usually,
But
if
we never heard, like, did she admit to she didn't admit to taking a $2 million
I thought I heard her say,
loan.
no, that's not true. I thought
That's
I heard her
right,
say that.
right. She didn't, she didn't say that she did. So, and we never heard, like, Andy never even had the opportunity to,
that's what happens in these reunions is that somebody
yeah,
jumps
it's
in and then
frustrating.
they get off track and then they try to get back on track and we never really get answers to the questions because then he said, like, what was your reaction to seeing Erika using ChatGPT to describe you? And Amanda's like, well, I mean, it wasn't great because I know ChatGPT pulls mostly from Reddit and Reddit has, a lot of bad things written about us as housewives. They're like, well, it takes from everywhere. I mean, Reddit does. Reddit has a lot of bad things written about everybody, to be quite honest
But
with you.
AI does take from everywhere, doesn't it? Like,
it does. It does. And then Bo said, when Amanda asked ChatGPT about you, it brought up, that you had a short-term tenure at your employers. And Bose said, if anyone knew what it was like to be a chief marketing officer, they would know that a short-term tenure is not uncommon. You go in to complete a mission, and then when you complete the mission, you move on. And Andy's like, CMO's job is not meant to be a long-term job. Bo said, well, its intentions to be longer, but a lot of times, the CMO is blamed on a company's failure or the stock plummets. So
it totally, what she said 100% made sense. So for Andy to roll his eyes or whatever the hell he did, and then Wendy just sent us that video of her like calling him out on it and defending.
Yes.
What she said totally makes sense. Of course, that's who's going to get blamed.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And honestly, I like that she put that video out on her social media and to explain herself and to call him out. And to be quite honest with you, there's no reason Amanda couldn't have done the same thing to explain what it is she does.
That's why I'm saying, yeah, she just needs to be, if she was just clear about it, I don't think everybody would looking at her sideways.
I think Bose has a really good PR person who is.
Yes.
I think Bose is an incredibly smart woman herself and could probably figure this all out on her own. But she must have a really good PR team who is encouraging her to do certain things.
Certainly.
And maybe Amanda doesn't. Maybe Amanda needs to look into who Bose is using for PR.
Well,
absolutely.
Also, to be honest with you, CMO is marketing and PR kind of go hand in hand. So
that's what I'm saying. She could be doing all of this on her own. She could.
I mean,
but if she's not, whoever her team is doing a good job.
Yeah, I definitely think she has a good team. But I watched her show On Brand with Jimmy Fallon.
I never got to watch that yet. I want to watch it.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. And it was all about marketing and advertising and getting the brand's name out there and what the brand wants to represent. That's what she does. Like, that's her thing. So herself being her product, yeah, she's great at this. She's great at it. She really is.
And I did like how she really pointed out that, if we want to talk about something, let's talk about the disparity of women in the workforce, especially Black women in the workforce. And she's right.
And doing the job she does. It's less than 1% or 1%. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. And the fact that although the number of women leaving the workforce, the Black women leaving the workforce is growing exponentially, the women that are educating themselves in the fields is also growing exponentially. So it shouldn't be that disparaging these numbers. Like, it shouldn't be that way. And those are things to talk about. She's absolutely right in that video. And Kyle says, why are we even doing this? Like, why aren't we supporting each other? And then Dorit jumps in again.
Totally hijacked that conversation.
Yep. Now that you've opened that door, we should all be supporting each other's businesses. And then Kyle's like, well, what business did I not support? And then she just keeps going on. Even though Kyle's trying to say all the businesses she supported her with and all that she's done with her. And Dorit just kept jumping. Well, that was 10 years ago. What have you done in the last 2 years? And we all know it was very well known that you and Kyle were not close the last 2 years. Why would she be supporting you? You weren't supporting her. You guys were fighting.
So I do think that sometimes Kyle contradicts herself with that. Like, we were friends, we weren't friends. Like, I do think that she kind of contradicts herself with that a lot.
Absolutely. Kyle. But they both do. Kyle's text was super nice to Amanda about not going. But again,
to Dorit, telling her she wasn't coming to the book. Yes.
Right. But then Dorit is being, you say you want Kyle to admit that you're not friends, but then why would you expect her to come to an event if you don't think she's your friend? But then it's because they both do it. Again, to Kyle, what do you give a shit about what Dorit's doing if you don't like her and you're not her friend?
I think Dorit was more upset that Sutton and Erika didn't go, thinking it was because of Kyle. And we didn't get there yet, but I think they're going to show it where basically Dorit says, like, Erika and Sutton are Kyle's minions. Which I don't necessarily think Kyle wants Erika and Sutton to do any dirty work for her. I think Erika and Sutton are happy to do it, though.
Yes, happy to do it, though.
Well, I mean, even that text that Kyle sent to Dorit, Dorit's response was, I get it. No worries. Thank you. Like, she said she understood. So if that's not how she felt, then she shouldn't have said that. And Kyle said, so you were being fake until all of a sudden Bose got in your ear and then you changed your tune. And that is what happened.
Definitely.
That is what happened.
That's happened. So yeah, either she just took a hard left when Bose was talking to her about it, or what Kyle said, your response was bullshit. And the whole time you were typing it, you were like, that bitch, she's not coming.
Right. And then Dorit goes into, I'm so sick and tired of you taking my relationship with Bose and Rachel. And she points to all three of them. She's talking to Kyle, Sutton, and Erika. And like Kyle's trying to respond. And she's like, I'm gonna talk about our history. And then Dorit just keeps trying to overtalk her. Like she doesn't even let her speak.
She would not let her talk. It was frustrating to watch.
It was
annoying. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. It really was hard to watch. And that's why I said that's why I really didn't like this episode, because I felt like it was the Dorit episode. It was just her over talking everybody. Because even when it
was like when Melissa and Teresa on that last reunion that we saw, when they were neither one of them would let up. It's like, this is not productive at all. It's not enjoyable to watch.
Dorit came on there only to respond, not to have a conversation, not to listen. She
wasn't listening.
She just came to respond, and that's it. And when you show up like that with that mindset, it's never going to go good.
Right.
It's not effective communication at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
That is 100% right, because when Andy asked what the intentions were, Kyle said, I hope that we can move forward. And Dorit did not have that same intention. She never had that intention. And she has not listened to a single thing anyone has said. She's just been trying to spew out what she wants to get out, regardless of what is asked to her. Because then the next thing that comes up is Andy said, we are still on Amanda's segment. When you saw what Amanda actually said, which was the topic of conversation, what was your reaction? Because about the party with Rachel at Rachel's house about, her son's, the anniversary of her son's death. Dorit said, well, I think she had an opinion about something that I don't think it's fair for her to have an opinion about. Well, when they showed the clip, it wasn't anything like that. And Amanda said, when I watched it, I was actually relieved, because I thought to myself, like, maybe I forgot something that I said. And there was nothing that she said that was so horrible. It was a conversation that was going on, and Amanda just basically agreed with it. And she's allowed to have an opinion about something, whether you like it or not. She's allowed to have an opinion about something. And Sutton said, yeah, but you did have an opinion, which she did. Amanda said, yes, but then you went and told Dorit, which is really what got it built up. And Sutton said, yes, but I told her. And Dorit goes, yeah, she did tell me. And then she's like, yeah, because you wouldn't admit it. Amanda said, I think it dragged on because you didn't believe that I didn't have any ill will, which is exactly what it was. You thought I was harboring ill will against you, so you just wouldn't let it go. And Rachel's like, well, the problem I had at my house was actually even before that conversation, when she came in to announce her book and you made that comment that, she has a ghostwriter. And Amanda's like, I apologize. I was wrong. Rachel's like, well, you don't have to one up. And she's like, no, you're right. I didn't know. I'm sorry. And Rachel's like, I know. That's why I'm telling you.
Yeah, so I thought that was really, really good of Rachel, though. I mean, she's a very smart one.
Yes.
And I love that she said that. She said, that's why I'm telling you, because I know you weren't trying to one up.
Right.
I'm trying to help you out so that you can just be a little more aware of kind of, how
people are perceiving what you're saying.
How you're coming across,
Right. And I think that when you do point things like that out to Amanda, I think she does take that. She does take that. Unlike Dorit, who still, the reason it was such a big deal is because, Dorit, you kept making it a big deal. You kept talking about it.
And you know what the other problem was? Is that Amanda is not somebody, I think, to just bark back at you. I think that if Amanda was the type of person, if she initially barked back and set Dorit in her place quick, Yeah, okay. Yeah, and you know what I mean? But she didn't. And Dorit is in such a chihuahua place that she just kept going with the bone because Amanda didn't put her in her spot quick enough because she was in her own bad spot with her son and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Plus, she's just not that kind of
I don't think Amanda was
confrontational
equipped
person.
to exactly.
She's just
I
not
don't
that
think
wet.
right. And typically for the most part, like this isn't Jersey. It's not OC. We don't see a lot of fighting like we do on the other franchises.
Mhm.
So when she joined the cast, she probably never thought she was going to be the recipient or be involved in some kind of
Altercation right away. Right.
yeah, right.
You know, Dorit
Verbal,
was
but altercation nonetheless. Yeah.
Dorit was like that dog that's on a leash that's pulling and pulling and pulling. She needed a good yank back. And Amanda's not a yanker, first off, and was not in the headspace to yank.
Wasn't in the headspace
No.
to do it. Yeah.
No, because then Andy said to Amanda, like, what's the biggest thing you learned this season? And she's like, you know, I actually like that this is not so scary. Like, I like all these people. Like, these are good women. They have good hearts. Like, I feel like, you know, I can be myself in this group. And I was like,
Trying to
okay.
come back.
I don't
Oh
know
my
what that
God.
means.
She's like, no, I could do it. I could do it. Give me another season.
I
Yeah.
love Jennifer Tilly's the best. Jennifer Tilly is the best. They show her because they go on break for lunch or whatever, and they show her and she's showing up and she's like, oh, it's a good day for a rumble. I love her.
I texted you both last night when Kathy Hilton pulled up with the
with
curlers
her
in her hair,
rollers, her
with
pillow,
the pillow.
her lunch,
I'm like,
all her
this is
shit.
fucking Lori. This is
Yeah.
Lori showing up anywhere.
Yep, with the
Yes.
5 bags, the curlers. I thought the exact same.
Now, if Kathy would have just like got
Her
out of the
lunch
car
in her hand.
and if she would have like left her glasses there and we had to go
Yeah.
back for them before the train comes, then
Right.
it would.
Oh my God, that's right. Right.
Yeah,
That was
that
so
is
funny.
so Lori. It's so true.
And I love how Kathy thought Jennifer was all ready when she was in her like combat boots and her little black dress. And Kathy was like,
Where's your jewelry?
Jennifer was like, I'm not going in this.
No, I'm going to go put my $60,000 dress on. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And all those flowers. Oh my God, Kathy Hilton had so many
So many
flowers in her
for
trailer.
birthday. Yes.
I mean, which is really sweet. But then when the day's over,
Yeah. Where'd they go?
I guess her help is going to transfer them
home.
to her
Yeah.
house.
Maybe they get to bring them home. Maybe they're there and then she gives them to all the people that helped her for the day.
That would be
you
nice.
know? I bet
would
you
be-
that's
I
what
do
she
think-
does because she seems
think
like the
Kathy's
kind of person
generous.
that would do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is
does.
very generous.
Yeah.
I could
She's
see her
very
taking
generous.
like her favorites home. I could see her
And then
dragging
letting
shit
everybody
home,
else.
but
Yeah.
giving the rest away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they get out onto set and Jennifer's the first one out and Andy's like, oh my God, your hair, your dress, like, you know, and she does her little spin. And then she's trying to sit down. She's like, I need a slant board. It was like, oh my God, that's so funny. And then even Kathy, when she gets out, she says to Kyle, like, is my hair too curly? And Kyle's like, well, run your fingers through it. She goes, yeah, because they told me I look like a country western singer. Woohoo.
She did. She did.
I like
She normally
it. I
does
like
at the
country western singer
reunions.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But Kathy, like even the way she dresses at the reunions, between the hair and the dresses she wears, she normally does look like a country western singer.
A little Dolly Parton look.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Andy asked Jennifer if she brought any snacks, and she said that she had some nerds. And Kathy's like, well, I have mints. Of course she does.
Yeah. And tater
Then
tots.
when Andy asked, tater tots, Andy asked Kathy about, you know, what the inspiration was for that dress. And she's like, oh, well, the one I was going to wear didn't fit. I went on the Jell-O diet.
Oh my God.
That's the one that Oprah Winfrey and Michelle Obama and Kelly Clarkson went on. And they're all like, what? And she's like, yeah, you take it, you mix it with vinegar and baking
I know what she's
soda.
talking about. And the problem with it is everybody wants you to pay them to find out the recipe of what it is. Because I do believe that it is a thing. It is like a real thing. And I think if you have the correct recipe and you do it right, I think it's effective for weight loss. But you just get the runaround online and no one.
Well, it is Kathy Hilton. If she wanted the correct recipe, she would pay for it.
Do you have to
maybe
eat
not
Jell-O?
though.
You have to
Yeah,
eat
you mix
Jell-O all day?
Jell-O with vinegar and it's just a
Baking soda.
concoction. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes it like it's a whole concoction.
And then she said that she lost 2 pounds the first day, and then after that, she was just all bloated, so nothing fit her.
I can't do all this. I'd rather just be overweight. I'm all right.
I
My
know.
husband doesn't
Just
mind.
just put on a Spanx and call it good. Who cares?
Exactly. I'm all set.
All right, so then we start out with Kyle's package, and Andy starts out with, we've seen the change in Kyle over the last 15 season, from her kids leaving the nest, to Mauricio getting his own place, to Kyle finding love after Mo. Whether Kyle goes Brad or Angelina in the future, we all could agree she probably shouldn't go to Amanda's house anytime soon. And then we see, when she's being really vulnerable with Mo at Amanda's house, and she's very emotional. It was hard to see, because it was hard when we saw it the first time.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah.
What I thought was interesting was Andy said something about Mo being unemotional. And I don't remember, was it him that asked or was it someone else that asked? Was his
He asked it.
It was
Andy
him.
asked it.
It was
inability to
emotional
show
disconnect.
emotion? Yeah, emotional disconnect. Is that what led to the separation? And she said yes.
Yes.
So to me, like, Maurizio always kind of looked like he was like not an emotional guy, but I'm just saying like in tuned with her and her emotions. Like, so I guess he wasn't.
And well, I think he was, and then he got too big for his britches. And she
It
tried to
does, yeah.
say, the thing in Amanda's house that, I get it that when they first got there, Mo was looking at it from like a business standpoint because
Yeah,
real
yeah.
estate is what he does. But I mean, you found out which way the wind was blowing. She told you you had plenty of cues, and you still did not care. You
Yes.
still didn't care. And, there's some things that, like, she said, like, that, she wasn't expecting to feel this way, and that, she thought that Mo got, like, a little uncomfortable. And, like, so God forbid Mo gets uncomfortable. I think there's
Exactly.
still a
Oh,
lot of,
well.
like, some coddling going on there, Yeah, so Andy was the one who asked, "Did the emotional disconnect contribute to the fall of your relationship?"
Yeah, and she said
And
yes.
and I think that he's kind of a dick now. And I think that
Wow.
that kind of behavior, to me, makes me believe that he was always like that, because you don't get separated from your wife. You're somewhere where you used to live and where you grew up, and your family grew up there, and she's emotional, and you just say, "Oh, well, shit changes." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
to me, it was just like,
I think
"No,
Mo had
you're just a
indiscretions a
dick."
lot in their marriage, and I think she turned a blind eye to it, and finally she was like, "You know what? This isn't gonna work for me anymore," and he was like, "Okay."
Mhm.
Where she thought if she said, "This isn't gonna work for me anymore," he'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop."
Well, I also think, because when this first happened, it was shortly after her very good friend died by suicide. And
Yes.
Mo was not there for her. He was not
Yes.
there for her. And, her kids were younger. She was busy raising the kids. She was busy involved in their lives. And this is now all happening, all but Portia's still in high school at this point, 2 years ago. She's still home, but she's realizing that Mo isn't here for me emotionally. He's not here for me when I need him. I'm the one running the house. I'm doing the day-to-day. Yeah, he shows up on the vacations. Yeah, he comes in when he needs this. I don't even think it was so much about the cheating, because I honestly think if that was it, she would have just put up with it. It's that she realized at that point, after her friend died, I can't continue this like this, not
Yeah.
like that woman said, not being emotionally fulfilled by her husband, um, any longer.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I
And you
know.
know what was really the cincher is when she was talking about how when they were on vacation in Aspen and they were out together, and he was there with her and other people, and he's like scanning the bar, hitting on chicks. Like, that's not how you behave in front of somebody that you're separated from if you're not a dick.
Right, and Rachel was there and witnessed the whole thing and said
That's
it
what
was
I'm saying.
horrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
No,
gotta
yeah,
be an asshole to behave
I
that
do
way.
think, yeah, I do. I think that he definitely, you know
And I think he was always like that, and I think now what the separation has done is given him the platform to just be honest about it. Just be flat out. I think this is probably his behavior that he would have done covertly, but now that they're separated, he can just be like, Yeah, Kyle, you're standing right next to me and I'm scanning. I'm giving the
Right, because 'cause
eye.
we're separated.
Yeah, I just gave him the opportunity to be honest about it.
Yeah. And then Andy brought up about Mo running into the Potomac girls because it came up at the reunion at the Kimosabi, and Kyle said, "Yeah, she got some apologies. She got some DMs,
See,
she
I
got
didn't
text
see this on
messages."
I didn't see this. This must have been
Oh,
just
yeah,
on Peacock.
so this was on Peacock. So, yeah, she said she got, she spoke to Ashley in person when she was shooting the Ultimate Girls trip, and she said basically that they were saying that, that they would never do anything, and Kyle said, "Well, you really shouldn't be saying this to Mo. Like, you shouldn't let him hear this because it's annoying. Like, this just boosts his ego more." And then Kyle said, Kathy used to say to me, "Is it all right if I say it?" And Kathy's like, "Yeah, used to say to me, quit talking about how hot your husband is on TV." Kathy said, "Stop trying to make it happen."
Mhm.
And that's how she feels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So, Kyle, maybe you created this monster a little bit. It's
Wow.
kinda like what
Yeah.
Kathy was saying covertly.
Yeah. And then Kathy, being Kathy, said, like, "What, next to Ken?" And Andy goes, "Ken Todd?" And she goes, he goes, "Are you comparing Mauricio to Ken Todd?" And she's like, "Well, he's a good looking guy." And it just I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this is
so Kathy Hilton
ridiculous."
was basically trying to say, like, I mean, yeah, Mo's good
Well,
looking, but he's not like Ken.
right.
That's so funny.
So funny. And then Kathy said, Andy asked Kathy why Kyle hasn't moved on. Like that they've been separated for a few years. Like, why do you think they're so slow to file? And Kathy said, "Well, I think maybe it's a little bit of denial." And
I was
Rachel
surprised
jumped in
she
and
said that.
no, I mean, she's being
I'm
honest. And
glad she
Rachel's like,
said it, but I was surprised she
"Yeah,
said it.
yeah." And Kyle said they had the conversation after Aspen recently, and once there's someone in either one of their lives, it's going to force their hand, and then they'll do something. And that's when Bose, jumped in and she's absolutely right. Like, that is not the time to do this because then that person is going to be like the bad guy. And Kyle's like, "Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're gonna
I
blame
want
the
to
other
blame."
person. Like, well, if so and
Yeah,
so didn't come into their lives, we'd still be
right.
blah 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 blah.
Right. There still
No,
would have
that
been
And
a
was
Kyle,
chance,
sound
whatever.
advice that Bose gave her. Very sound advice.
yeah, and Kyle said, "Well, I'd rather blame somebody." And then she laughs, and Bo's like, "Yeah, I'm with you on that, but." Which I was glad she's like, "All right, I got that," but this is
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
really need to do. And she's absolutely right. Like,
She's
you need to
absolutely right.
you need to do this now.
Mhm.
And she said that she's afraid that, the relationship is going to change. Right now they go to Colorado together, they go out to dinner, he goes to his room, she goes to hers, they have coffee in the morning. And once they're divorced, she doesn't think that's going to happen, and it probably isn't going to happen
No, but I mean, why would you wanna hang out in that in between?
She's not ready to
because
let
it's
go.
comfortable. It's
Yep.
comfortable and it's her family. It's her
As someone
family.
who does not like change, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's almost like he should file, he should force it. He should force it. She's never gonna do it, and she needs to. So he should force it
Yeah.
but I have a feeling that, like, when they started talking about the agency, I bet you he's getting a little greedy, Mo,
Well, like we've
and
talked
he's
about before,
probably
I think there's a lot of mess there. There's a lot of mess there. There's all those PPE loans that he messed around with there's a lot going on there. He took out
oh,
a
yeah.
lot for expansion. He spread himself real thin when he did his big worldwide expansion with all these different offices. There's goings on there.
Well, like Erika said, Kyle said half of the agency is mine, and Erica's like, "Well, half the debt is yours too."
Mhm.
And
And
Mhm.
she sure
that's true.
knows.
Yep.
She
Yep.
sure knows, yeah.
And then Kathy jumps in and said Sutton didn't get half. And Sutton's like, "No, I got half the assets." And then Andy asked Sutton if her monthly payment has gone down. She's like, "Well, I don't get child support, but I still get spousal support." And the number, that $300,000 number, didn't include child support
Yeah, which we
because
knew.
child support doesn't get taxed, which it just blew me away. Honestly, whoever her divorce attorney is, that's who Kyle needs to
Oh,
hire
yeah.
quick.
Oh,
That's who
yeah.
she needs to
For
hire.
sure.
Absolutely.
For
Yep. And how about Dorit asking, "Are you waiting for him to come back?"
Yeah.
And the
Well,
pause. The
Did she
pause that
ask?
happened, yes, she did.
Yes, she did. Yes,
The
she did.
pause that happened with Kyle told the whole story.
That's what I'm saying. I felt really bad for her in
Well,
that moment because I
the
think
thing
she
is,
is.
the thing with Dorit is she is so jealous of Kyle's separation with Mo. She's jealous of it because they are amicable. They are speaking. Finances is not an issue for them. They are in a different financial
See, I
situation.
don't see it that way.
I
You know what
do.
I
I
don't
see it
see Dorit being jealous of
I
Kyle
see
in
it
any
I
way,
see it
shape, or form.
I see it both ways.
You do?
I think it goes both ways. Wendy, I think you're right, but then I also think that in some ways, Kyle is a little jealous of Dorit's whole few
She doesn't want to be with him anymore.
doesn't wanna be
She's
with him
ready to walk
anymore,
away.
ready
She's
to
ready to
walk
walk away.
away, ready to just call him out, say the shit, you know what I mean? So I think it goes
I
both
mean,
ways,
let's
and that's
face it,
part of the
Kyle
problem.
still has not on TV said that Mo has cheated on her. Like she's still in some way protecting him.
Absolutely.
I think
And
she's protecting herself.
I'm sure that's more about her daughters than us as viewers, but
Mhm.
still, she still is. I mean, we've seen housewives, go through a divorce and then have diarrhea of the mouth and tell us everything. And I think Kyle's going to have that moment. So we're just going to have to bide our time for a little bit.
How about Kathy answering her phone?
Oh my
The
god.
phone even ringing.
Not on silent, not on do not
And she's
disturb.
like, "Hey, yeah,
I'm at the
yeah,
reunion.
we're doing it."
And what I love most about it is that Andy didn't even skip a
Nope,
beat.
everybody just
Nobody
kept going,
acknowledged it.
everybody kept
Didn't
Everybody
even
going.
just let it
happen.
go.
Yep,
Yep.
everybody
It
was like,
didn't even
"Okay,
happen.
Kathy's doing her kooky Kathy shit."
And that's actually when Kyle was literally crying about she sees so much of her and Mo in Alexia and Jake's relationship and how she's worried that they're gonna, go down the same path. And she talks about how when she met Mo, they didn't have any money, and she's like, "We can move to Colorado. You can, be a ski instructor or whatever, and we can live this like simple life. It doesn't matter."
Mhm.
And she's like, "Social media is the worst thing for any relationship when you're in public." And she admitted that if she did choose that life and she didn't stay in LA, that this wouldn't be going on. And I think that there's probably a lot of truth to that because there's a lot of
I
Me
think
too.
so.
glimmer and glitz in LA. There's a lot of fakeness. You need
Mhm.
money to live in LA. You need to have a lot of
Well,
money.
and let's face it, like, I don't know who said it, maybe it was Amanda, like, when he started the agency, Kyle was a Real Housewife.
Yeah,
So
Amanda said it.
who had worked for Kathy's husband, Rick Hilton, at
Right.
his real estate firm, and Mo was approached to start the agency with other people. Had he not been on The Real Housewives with Kyle, he probably wouldn't have gotten approached. He was the face of it because he was on TV. If he
Mhm.
weren't on
Right.
TV, you're
Mhm.
just another realtor.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I feel bad. I really did feel very bad for Kyle. You can just tell she doesn't want this. You can tell she's replaying the game in her head. Like, what could we have done differently to not end like this? Like, they really were a great couple.
I don't know. That's why I think I'll just stay poor.
Me too. That.
Get it.
I mean, we want you to subscribe to our YouTube. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah. Yeah. And how about, Jennifer Tilly's face when Andy was asking if Sutton thought she had a problem with alcohol? And she said maybe, and Jennifer Tilly was like,
yeah. But I also think that when Sutton was drinking, her too, just coming out of a divorce,
"Mhm."
trying to cope. I don't think Sutton has a drinking problem. I think she went through a phase where she may have had,
Using it incorrectly to deal.
right,
You
right,
can use it incorrectly to deal without having an actual problem.
right. But how about when Jennifer apologized to Sutton for what she said? Did you see the look on Kyle's face? I'll tell
Mhm.
you what, I couldn't stand Kyle and Dorit's facial expressions
Yes,
this
very
whole
annoying.
reunion.
Very annoying.
Very annoying.
Very
They were
annoying.
like middle schoolers,
Mhm.
both of them.
Yeah. And even the faces on Tilly and Dorit when Andy asks if the ladies have any thoughts about what happened between her and Avi. Did you catch
Yes.
that?
Yes. Yeah. But I thought that Jennifer, I thought that was very heartfelt what she said to Sutton, and that she said, like, she's been there with me through, very important parts of my
Important
life, whether
parts of
they
her
were
life,
good or
right.
bad. I thought it was nice that Jennifer addressed that. She wasn't even asked about it yet. And she took it upon herself to address it with Sutton directly. So I thought that was great.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
I love
nice.
Jennifer Tilly. She's just, and I've actually grown to love Kathy Hilton on the show too. Like, they really are
Comic
the
relief.
perfect examples of what a friend of on these housewives should be.
Mm-hmm.
They're my two favorite. I would love to see them have their own like little spinoff and
Could
just
you
do.
imagine them doing like a Luann and Sonia Crappy Lake?
Forget it. The best.
I just want to watch them travel. I just want to watch them travel. I
Yeah,
want to
I'd have
watch them
fun
go
just watching them
shopping.
travel. Yep, and travel.
Yeah, we
That'd
don't
be
need to see
awesome.
them slum it.
No, I want to watch
They
them
could do
travel.
whatever they want, and it would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What was after Jennifer addressing Sutton? I didn't take notes, so.
Well, listen, I thought that her answer about an employment termination,
Nation, right.
I
And
thought that
they both signed NDAs to not talk about what happened, so she's not gonna talk
Yeah,
about it.
I mean, we're never
right.
we're never going to find out unless somebody down the road, when it doesn't even matter anymore, decides to tell us. And you know what?
Right.
Who cares? He was her
Who cares?
assistant. Like, yes, he was
Right.
funny. Yes, they had a cute dynamic, but okay, we're good. But it's
Yeah.
interesting because Sutton too, like, I'm not a huge Sutton fan, as you all know, but what does she show us about her life? Nothing. We know nothing about her kids other than the youngest one just went away to school.
Well, because we couldn't know anything about her kids because
But aren't
the
her
one that
2
was
older ones, like, old enough
but
now
they
to,
were at
like, say.
school. I mean, we did meet her daughter. We did meet her daughter, and
Yeah, one time we met her daughter.
the other one
One
was at
time, yeah.
school, and the younger one wasn't allowed to be shown.
Yeah, so I guess all we have is her mom, Reba. We got
Yeah.
Reba.
So
And we did have the thing when she met with Jennifer and had lunch and how they were talking about, Christian and the annulment and how he's with some woman that they knew already and, had gone to
yeah, there's a
different
lot
things.
going on there.
There's a
I
lot going
wonder
on
if
there.
we're gonna hear more about that next episode.
It just got all lost in the Kyle and Dorit noise.
I totally agree. It's annoying. It's like when you would watch Jersey and it was all about Melissa and Teresa. It's like nobody
Enough already.
gives a shit anymore. Like, I
Right,
feel like that's
enough.
where we're getting with Kyle and Dorit. Like,
Mhm.
are you team Kyle or are you team Dorit? Actually, I don't really give a shit
About either one.
No,
about
I know.
either
I
one.
totally agree. I totally agree. That's when Andy asked Sutton. Actually, he asked Dorit that you and Sutton Strack were not in a good place. I thought that you and Sutton Brown, were going to be okay. And Dorit said, "Well, initially we were, but then all of a sudden at Rachel's party, I saw it in her eyes. You saw
I know
what
it's
in her eyes?
Yeah.
Nope. I will tell you this, I know exactly what she's talking about. When they
I do
flash
too,
back to
yeah.
the clips, you can see she's got that look. She's got she was I don't know if she had a little drinky winky, I don't know what happened, but she had that look. She got pissed when
Rachel came over and took
when
her
she
away.
when, the focus was not her. She was trying to have that moment, and you could see that look in her eye. I do know what Dorit was talking about.
I agree.
So then it came up about, how Sutton didn't go to Dorit's book cover launch. And Kathy said, "Let me ask you a question. Like, you had a lot of friends there at that party. Do you really, truly care that Sutton wasn't there?" And honestly, I think Kathy was right. She said, "But I showed up for her when she had her fashion show, and Sutton shut that down. Well, you did show up for me, but you only showed up for me to badmouth me as soon as you got the chance."
Right, in her
She
confessional.
was
And
right.
Dorit did blow off how she dissed Sutton in her confessional.
Absolutely,
She
because then
totally
Andy
sideswiped that, blew that right off.
Andy gives her a hypothetical about, like, let's pretend like she went to your book cover launch, and she said that this isn't even a good picture of her. How would you feel? that wouldn't be good. And Andy's like, well, it's the same thing. She's like, this is not the same thing. He goes, it's a hypothetical. She's like, it's not a good hypothetical.
He said, I'm giving you an analogy. And she said, well, it's not a good one.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a good one. It was a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
But we all know how these analogies land with housewives.
But that's the thing with Dorit, this whole reunion. She didn't own anything. She didn't own her conflict with Sutton. She didn't own her conflict with Amanda. She didn't own it with Kyle. Like, she hasn't owned, and she's not going to own it when her and Erika finally, like, duke it out. She's not going to own any part of it. I couldn't go. I was very hurt. And Dorit's like, what were you very hurt by? Like, everything Erika said, Dorit came back at her. Something you said to me at the table. Why are you trying to save yourself? You're doing this to save yourself. And Andy said, well, Dorit said you're coming after me to save your job on the show. Now, we didn't see that exactly happen that way.
No, we didn't. No.
So Dorit said, that's what hurt you? And Erika's like, you can call me a see you next Tuesday all day long. That didn't bother me. What bothered me most was that I just bared my soul about what happened to me with the DV stuff. I really put it out there, and I see someone I love, and she even said, meaning you, and you said that to me. I was like, no. And then she's like, well, Erika, you have to understand my point. And Erika's like, I do understand your point. And then Dorit said, let me speak. Well, Erika was speaking. You were interrupting her.
Yeah. That like was the whole thing.
Right. So Erika's like, okay, first off, don't, in the way that she says it. Don't talk to me like that. You're talking over me. Let me finish how I feel. Dorit said, okay, finish. Like, she had to get the last word in every single time. It was like talking to a 4-year-old. Seriously, it was annoying. And then Erika's like, this is exactly why I'm in this position. This is why I feel the way I do. And Dorit's like, well, you unleashed on me. What was it that made you explode like that? She's like, I told you I effing lost it when you said Bogues was the only one that supported you, like, more than anybody in this group. And she did say that.
And then Dorit said again, like, I don't know what apologize for what. She just told you.
Right.
She literally just said the words.
Right. And Andy said, she's saying that how it made her feel. Dorit said, yes, I know, Andy.
She said, I really don't know if she's coming back. Andy might be like,
she wouldn't apologize. She doesn't think that there's anything to apologize for.
No, out of everyone sitting there, Erika, I felt, deserved an apology from Dorit the most. We're not going to see it with Kyle. We'll never see it with Sutton. Amanda, probably not. But Erika deserved an apology from Dorit, I thought.
Yeah, but again, she wasn't even hearing her.
Nope. No. She's getting very hard, Dorit. Like, the walls are getting higher and higher and thicker and thicker.
Yeah.
And I understand you're going through a divorce, and I think everybody is giving you grace for that and empathizing, but you can't just keep acting like this. Erika had her season. I mean, if Dorit comes back next year and does what Erika does, okay, but I don't think we'll ever see that side of Dorit. I don't think Dorit will ever have a redemption season. I don't think she can admit she's wrong ever.
Right. Who knows?
I guess we'll have to see what part 3 brings us. But honestly, I was very disappointed in this one. I just thought it was just way too much of Dorit over talking everybody and arguing. And I felt like we didn't really get any resolution because she never had any intention to get resolution. She went in with the intention of not listening. And that's exactly what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all we got for Beverly Hills. I guess until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.